Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to episode number 16 of Deer vs. Ivy. I'm your co-host, Cy Ingersoll, brought to you with, as always, the best co-host in all of the land, Mr. Jackson Gross. Jackson, it's Monday. We're back live. How are we doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm excited to be back live. It's been a few weeks since we've actually been able to do that. But things are good. Been crazy busy as always. Wrote a few more articles for Third Down Thursdays. We'll get into one of those in a little bit. But the other one I wrote was talking about the state of the Chicago Bears and the fact that they're a broken mess of a franchise. So go ahead and read that. I put on my own Twitter page. Check it out on thirddownsthursdays.com. Yeah, things have been crazy busy. Work at Walgreens has been nuts last few weeks. So but things are going good outside of it being a freezing tundra outside today. So, but yeah, things are going well. How are things for you, my man?
Things are about to start getting very, very busy. So I'm supposed to start my second semester of college tomorrow, but because of the weather, I don't know if I'm going to because wind chills are supposed to be negative 25 tomorrow, and other schools in the area have already shut down. So maybe I go to school tomorrow, maybe I don't. I don't know. But outside of that, been doing good. Read a couple articles for Down Thursday covering Bradley basketball, who are on a roll as of recently. We're on a 6-game win streak. Been spontaneously going to the games, kind of mingling with the guys. It's like we're doing good over here. Tired. It's very cold outside, and I don't like the cold. But we're good over here. We're talking baseball today, and stuff's gone down. So can't be mad about that.
Yeah, glad to hear Bradley's doing well. Marquette has been in a bit of a skid, and the injury front's not been good. Chase Ross is out for at least a month. Sean Jones is out for the year with a torn ACL. So, but speaking of which, I'm actually going to be February 10th. I will be in Milwaukee to cover Marquette versus St. John's. So maybe get to see a little bit of Rick Pitino. So that should be interesting. So we'll see how all that goes. But
interesting.
But yeah, like you said, we're here to talk baseball, and I feel it's only right that I've had to wait this long that I'm going to take my victory lap right off the top.
Go for it.
Cubs, I made the joke last week that they made a major league move. They claimed Brian Serven off of waivers, but now they've actually made two really, really big moves this week. They signed Shota Imanaga. That's the other piece I was alluding to on Third Down Thursdays. Lefty from Japan. 4 years, $53 million for the 30-year-old pitcher. I believe it has incentives, and contract is very complicated, but it could get up to like 4 years, $80 million if
5
certain
years.
things are.
I think it's 5 years, 80.
580.
Close enough.
Yeah, so there could be an extra year and a lot more cash. But yeah, 4 years, $53 million. That's around 11 to 15-ish million dollars per year for Imanaga. That's a perfect contract. That is the perfect Jed Hoyer contract. Like, he gets free agents on his terms. He doesn't overpay. Like, there's a slight argument that they overpaid Dansby Swanson, but he won a Gold Glove, and maybe his offense will get better from here on out. He was solid last year offensively, but not upper tier like a Lindor or Trey Turner. So played better than Carlos Correa last year. Just saying.
No, that's definitely right. Carlos Correa, you can't hit 210 and get paid all that money. Like, can't do that.
Yeah. But then the other big move, Cubs acquired the Dodgers' number 2 prospect, Michael Busch. He can play first base and third base. And they also acquired reliever Yency Almonte. In the deal, the headlining piece was left-handed pitcher Jackson Ferris. He was the number 8 prospect in the Cubs system. And the Cubs also sent another minor league outfielder. Don't know much about him, but this is big for several reasons. The first, because the initial reports out, at least as of now, Busch is planning to be the primary first baseman, which means If that's the case, that either means that they're planning to play Christopher Morel at third base most of the time, or they're going to go out and they're still in the running for Matt Chapman, sign Matt Chapman, have Morel be the all-time DH. Fingers crossed, somehow still re-sign Cody Bellinger. So we'll see how that goes. But these are two big moves. And then Almonte, really good slider, sweeper mix there. Just a really solid movement on his pitches. Can't wait for Tommy Hotovy to get him in the pitching lab. He's really solid. And again, it's more depth for Cubs bullpen that had to dip deep into the minor league system last year, dealt with a ton of injuries. So I'm here for it. I'm happy the Cubs finally did it. They made the big boy moves. There's still a few more moves to go, but they made some big boy moves.
Okay. So
here comes
I'm not gonna be the complete bearer of bad news. Yancy Almonte scares me because his trend since he's been a rookie, one good year, one bad year, one good year, one bad year, and he's coming off a bad year. So if the trend is the trend, which it has been a trend because it's happened for 5 years now, Yancy Almonte's gonna be good this year, and he's probably gonna pitch to a 2 ERA, and the Cubs do have a good pitching development. And Michael Busch. And they have Michael Busch, who has been a top 100 prospect for 3 years. And who's going to be the first baseman with the Cubs. Yeah, I don't really like that. I'm not going to lie. And just for Jackson Ferris, like the kid, the Zaire White or whoever it is, he could be good. But Jackson Ferris is a southpaw, if I do so remember correctly. And well, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, and they're known for developing southpaws. Clayton Kershaw. Yeah. Clayton Kershaw 2.0 possibly? Who knows? And then Shota Imanaga. I understand the 20 inches of break on his fastball, how filthy his pitches are. If he gets shelled by the Cardinals, all I'm going to say is I told you so.
Oh my God. Chill.
I literally just complimented 2 of the 3 moves that you made. I'm complimenting Yancy Almonte because he's probably going to be really good. I'm complimenting Michael Busch because he was in the Dodgers organization for 3 years as a top 100 prospect. Longer than 3 years.
I'm not saying anything to that.
I just don't like the Imanaga move. I wish he was a Boston Red Sox. He's gonna get shelled probably, and if he's good, I will eat my words, because that's fine. I'm humble. I'll eat my words. But currently, as the number 2 in that Cubs rotation, yeah, Steele's good. Imanaga could be good or could be bad. There's a lot of risk. That's why I'm not sold on the signing. Setting aside my Cardinals bias, it's a lot of risk on somebody who you're trusting that his movement will stay the same, because he does not have velo. And yes, non-velo pitchers can't succeed in the MLB if the movement is on point. If the movement's not on point, this contract's gonna be ugly. And how I'm hoping that his movement's off and how this contract will be ugly, because that's a lot of money that you're paying somebody.
Yeah, I acknowledge that in the piece, that the concern with him is he's a little bit more of a fly ball pitcher, and that's part of the reason the Yankees didn't sign him, is because they have that short porch in right field, and basically the whole field itself is a little league stadium.
That short porch is legit. Seen it myself.
So that was their concern with signing him. And that's my concern too, especially once June, July, and August hit, because the wind gets crazy at Wrigley Field, and there are games where both teams will hit like a combined 4 or 5 home runs in a game. And it's just, if he can get through those 3 months, that's going to be the big thing, because late March, April, and then parts of May, he should be fine. It'll be colder. The wind won't be blown around as much yet. And then once September and October, November hit, again, I think he'll be okay. It's that 3-month stretch, the biggest part of the season, heading to All-Star game and trade deadline. how is he going to do dealing with that wind as a fly ball pitcher? And not to say he still gets really good ground ball. I think his split finger gets like a 50% ground ball rate. The thing
Probably
is,
not
though,
much.
he gets strikeouts. He had a 68% strikeout rate last year, or strike rate. I can't remember exactly what it was. It would have been tied for first with Justin Steele on the Cubs, and it would have been top 10 in baseball last year. So regardless of velo, like I said, good movement on his pitches. Command isn't like as sharp as like 2016 Kyle Hendricks for comparison, but it's still kind of there. So, but he does throw strikes. That's the biggest thing. He throws strikes, and he throws a lot of them. He gets a lot of strikeouts, and that's what this Cubs teams need. Because Justin Steele has a mix of both. He gets strikeouts, he gets ground balls, but they needed another one because Tyone is kind of pitch to contact, and young pitchers, typically Kyle Hendricks is pitch to contact, and younger pitchers typically are pitch to contact, except the first start for Jordan Wicks when he had like 13 strikeouts. But yeah, no, I acknowledge the concerns. I'm concerned about that. But again, I think this is still a big move. You signed the second best free agent pitcher out of Japan. Like coming directly from Japan has no prior major league experience. Obviously, Shota Imanaga would be number one, blah, 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 blah. But I think to get him, it's another lefty. You can never have too many lefties in the starting rotation. So, yeah, I'm really excited, but I'm also cautiously optimistic about what this could mean moving forward. So, we'll see what happens. But that's not the only move the Dodgers pulled off, as they do what they always do, and they throw out crap tons of money to players. And that is, they brought in former Seattle Mariner and Toronto Blue Jay, Teoscar Hernandez, on a 1-year, $23.5 million deal with, you guessed it, deferred money on a 1-year contract. So now they basically are going to platoon Jason Hayward and Teoscar Hernandez or Chris Taylor because Teoscar mashes lefties. Jason Hayward's not very good against lefties. So look at that. They fixed another weakness by getting Teoscar Hernandez.
The rich get richer. I'm not even going to speak on this move because it's not needed. The rich get richer. However, I think that Teoscar's going to play a more full-time role in that Hayward, Margot, Taylor will be the sort of platoon. Or like occasionally having Teoscar DH and having two of those three that aforementioned play. But they're paying him $23.5 million. Yes, like $6 million. That's deferred because, of course, it is. He's playing. He's gonna play probably 140 games, and that's scary because Teoscar's coming off a down year. He couldn't hit in Seattle to save his life. But he's a good hitter. Teoscar's known for his bat, and so it's.
Yeah, so I was just trying to look up the deferred money. He'll be paid in installments of $8.5 million in 10 equal installments, July 1st from 2030 to 2039.
Of course, from a 1-year contract.
Yep. So the Dodgers will probably sign somebody else. They'll probably sign Cody Bellinger, Matt Chapman, Blake Snell, and just end all of our lives.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh God, Dodger. Yeah, it's a good move. The outfield, like if you think about it, like if you want someone to get out a lineup against lefties, you can have Chris Taylor, James Outman, Teoscar Hernandez, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, and Shohei Ohtani. Like that's just not
right.
fair.
They have Shohei. Shohei's the DH. I'm so slow. I forgot about that.
I mean, if they want to get Shohei off days, but
I guess, but
I mean, yeah, you could have an outfield against lefties of Taylor, Outman, and Hernandez, or if you want to just go full righties, you could throw out Margot as an outfielder and have Teoscar DH if you want to get crazy with it. But yeah, this the Dodgers don't win like 105 or more games this year, I'd be shocked. Like they have put together just a disgusting team.
They're winning 107 confirmed. Like that's the exact number I'm getting. That's 107 or bust.
They flirt with that 116 win season the Mariners had. If things are according to plan, they could flirt with that type of year this year.
I forgot about that. And then losing the divisional round.
That's crazy. I still can't believe that the wins record belongs to the Mariners. Like, no disrespect to the Mariners, but you figure like the Yankees or the Dodgers or the Red Sox would have done it at some point, but no, it's the Mariners. But hey, who knows? Maybe it could be the Dodgers in 2024.
No.
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be. But
don't even say that. That's terrible to think about.
Hey, maybe I'm jinxing them. You don't know.
Oh, then if that's the case, then yes, let's keep talking about it. Yeah, no. The Dodgers are definitely going to win because
they're going to win 130 games. That's what I'm going to say.
And then lose, and then lose in the divisional playoffs to the St. Louis 84 Cardinals.
Win Reds. Like I don't really think
to the 84 win Colorado Rockies. We're going to come out of nowhere with Dakota Hudson and Austin Gomber as the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball.
And Jacob Stallings and Chris Bryant.
Oh. And Brenton Doyle, Ronnie Ohtani of a home run. Yeah, no, I like what I'm thinking. I think that's going to happen.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's going to be good. And don't forget Cal Quantrill as well for the Rockies.
Ace.
Well, speaking of former aces, that is anyway. So where is Marcus Stroman going? What is going on?
I should have wore the hat. Dang, he's going to the Yankees. And it's crazy. It's crazy because the report came out last week that he's expressed interest because of his toxicity that he brings wherever he goes. The Yankees said no. And now Marcus Stroman is a New York Yankee. Therefore, the Yankees are the most toxic team in MLB. Because you have Marcus Stroman, Alex Verdugo. Those are the big two. And then who else was there?
Juan Soto.
And then Juan Soto. You're telling me that Stroman and Soto, who had some of the best beef last year, are on the same team now? And then Verdugo's crybaby self, cinema in the Big Apple because the Mets are the Mets.
Yeah, I think I saw someone had reposted that clip of when Stroman struck out Soto in the regular season and he did the shuffle. I think Soto replied under that post saying like we're shuffling together now or something like that.
Yep. Already being toxic. Like why?
I think that's honestly starting on the right foot. I think that's going to be a big thing for the Yankees because you got so many rivals and toxic players. You got to integrate someone who played for the Red Sox for almost his entire career, if not his entire career. Then you have, obviously, you got Stroman, who he's had beef with Brian Cashman and Yankees fans in the past.
The Blue Jays.
And the Blue Jays, obviously, being in that division. So that will be interesting. And then, like we said, Juan Soto, he's a bit of a wild card at times, but I'm gonna laugh if like Juan Soto calls out like Aaron Judge at some point because there are like so many times last year he called out players on the Padres. Like wait, this we have to stay. We watch him say like we have to try and stay healthy as a team, and some of the guys aren't really doing that too well, and he'll be like Aaron Judge is on the IL or something,
or like it was like a broken toe or something, like just something.
Or like it's not. It won't even be like that severe. It'll be like a sprained pinky or something.
took a day off because he got hit took a day off because of hit by a pitch. We gotta be more healthy, guys. Like toxic.
We have to be more mentally tough.
After getting swept by the Red Sox, you'll be more mentally tough. Yeah, all right. Quick.
Under 60 games until someone forcibly stuffs Verdugo in a locker.
You know it's Giancarlo who's doing it too. Like, let's talk about it. It's gonna be.
Oh my god, I forgot about Giancarlo.
It's gonna be Big Sassy himself. He's gonna pick up Verdugo and just. Yeah.
Yeah.
I. No words.
I just hope that Stanton doesn't get injured while trying to get through Verdugo in a locker. So.
Yeah. No. You're not wrong.
Oh my god. Oh, and I forgot to play this earlier because I forgot about this. This was just such a precious moment for y'all. I'm just gonna play it now.
Hey, Chicago. What do you say? Cubs gonna win today.
It was so precious. It was so precious. Shout out to
you
Shota Imanaga.
you can tell Shota's happy to be there, but
he's been in Chicago since Christmas. He went to a Blackhawks game with Connor Bedard when he was playing, and he picked 18 because he loves Ben Zobrist. So sorry to get that off of the rails.
Hometown legend, Benny Z. On the topic of Connor Bedard, it's really ironic because the tweet of his just popped up on that Twitter, and it just says, "I don't need my job to score goals." So, Connor Bedard might return for the Blackhawks. Screw the jaw surgery. Interesting. I don't know.
They got the helmets that protect the jaw, so we'll see. But anyway,
continue.
Anyway, so since we talked about a former Chicago Cub, I feel like it's only right that we talk about a former St. Louis Cardinal and figure out what the heck are the San Francisco Giants doing? They signed former Cardinal and Blue Jays pitcher Jordan Hicks to a 4-year, $44 million deal, but not as a reliever or like setup guy for Camilo Doval. They signed him as a starter. They're going to try him out as a starting pitcher after sending Anthony DeSclafani to the Mariners. Our guy, Alex Keeler, sent this in our group chat on Twitter, and he didn't even realize that the Giants were going to try and again as a starter, because I know you're going to talk about it. He was a starter for a little bit with the Cardinals. I don't get it. Wasn't he really good in the bullpen? I don't understand.
Jordan Hicks with his stuff and his velo on his fastball, who had constantly can't touch 102 with a filthy curveball, filthy changeup, plays better in the bullpen because you can fully maximize his stuff. The Cardinals experimented, I believe it was 2021. We experimented with Hicks as not in 2022, 2021 or 2022. We experimented with Hicks as a starter, and it didn't go well because Hicks. I love Jordan Hicks. Have a bobblehead of his. He's great, but health-wise, with how explosive of a guy he is, with how much oomph and effort he puts into his pitches, his fastball and velocity in particular, it puts a lot of stress on his elbow and his shoulder, and he's a lot more injury prone when he's starting in the rotation because he's constantly trying to go 5-6 innings, 90 pitches, while still trying to constantly touch 102. He's putting too much stress on his arm. When in the bullpen, he's only having to throw 15 pitches, 1 inning.
15 to 20.
And he can actually fully optimize and utilize his explosiveness. Yes, he's getting starting pitching money. At worst, he will go back. He will go into that bullpen as a setup guy, and he will be lethal. If the Giants can somehow figure out his health and how to properly utilize him as a starter, that's great. St. Louis tried. When we had Mike Maddox, we tried, and we failed because he's not healthy enough for it. But kudos, big time kudos to Jordan Hicks for getting the money he wanted, because that's the money he wanted. He's been wanting to start. It's just it hasn't worked out for him yet. So if it works out for him now, that's awesome. That's great. If he can still, instead of hitting 102 with his fastball, hit like 100 and just properly just be healthy, it's great. It's going to be a great signing. However, if he blows his arm out and gets Tommy John for, I believe, the second time in his career, that's going to be rough.
Yeah. So I was just looking it up. It was in 2022 that y'all tried him as a starter. He started 8 games in 2022. Let's see. The most innings he pitched as a starter was 5. And that was a game in which he gave up 3 runs, had 3 strikeouts and 2 walks in an 8-2 loss to the San Francisco Giants. Funny enough.
Poetic.
Yeah, he went. What did he go in that year? He went. Looking. Yeah, he went 3-6 overall that year, and I believe he only got 1 win as a starter in that stretch. Let's see, one. Actually, I don't. Hold on. Actually, it doesn't look like he got a win as a starter. He did not.
Nope. I'm telling you, it didn't go well. It didn't go well. He got shelled.
I'm trying to look. Honestly, he wasn't that bad. He had like 1 really bad start, and that was against Toronto, where he only pitched 3 innings and gave up 4 runs. I mean, other than that, he was solid. Like, I don't think this is going to be sustainable for the Giants or him. But if they can get like 4 to 5 innings out of him, I think that'd be okay. Like, giving up 2 or 3 runs per start. Obviously, that's amazing, but still. I don't know. I just don't. I agree. I think unless he starts taking stuff off his fastball in order to like preserve his elbow as a starter, I don't think that's going to work. And then you're already damaging probably your best pitch.
Yep.
So
his fastball and his changeup / curveball are his best pitches, because they play with the velo on his fastball and the break that his off speeds have. They play off each other so well. If he can lower, basically that I like to put that. If he can lower the effort level just like 10%, so he can extend out his length. Cool, great, that's awesome. But I'm telling you, dear San Francisco Giants, be careful. Because if he blows his elbow out again, that's on y'all. No amount of money can save that.
And they'll be on the hook for 4 years, $44 million.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's all guaranteed money too. No opt-outs.
All right. San Francisco's getting desperate, and it sucks to see for them, but
it doesn't.
Hey, I have a soft spot for the Giants, so I know you probably don't, but
nope. Not at all. If you know, you know.
Anyway, speaking of NL Central stuff and NL adjacent, the Cincinnati Reds, they add yet another pitcher to the depth of their team. They get former Milwaukee Brewer Brent Suter on a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. There is an option for 2025. I believe it was a mutual option that could be worth up to $3.5 million. Never can have too many lefties. Brent Suter was solid. Still is solid.
He was more than solid. For last season in 2023, with the Colorado Rockies in Coors Field, keep that in mind. Brent Suter pitched to a 4-3 record, 3.3 ERA in 57 games. 69 innings pitched, nice. 55 strikeouts with a whip of 1.298. That's pretty good. And for a relatively weaker Reds bullpen, Suter is a perfect go-to lefty to get that ground ball, to get that fireman role almost, just like put out the fire, swing man. Just I like the signing a lot.
Thanks, Jack. Really appreciate that.
That's no, not shout out to Ishikawa. No. That's one of my band names, Jack. You should know about the band names. Censor that next time, please.
Is Kyle Schwarber in that list too?
He should be, but he's not because I like him on the Phillies.
Okay, that's fair. But yeah, I agree. Brent Suter, he dropped his ERA by 0.5 after his last year with the Brewers. Pitched the second most games in his career. Started 2 games. Record of 4-3. Like, pitched one of his biggest innings years in a long time. Obviously, he had 101 as a starter with the Brewers at 81, but this is one of his most as strictly just a reliever. So I hate this just because I don't want to face Brent Suter again. I remember him being a pain in the butt to deal with on the Brewers. So now that he's with the Reds have added a lot of pitching talent, and they needed it. So
yeah.
Plus, we can't forget Nationals legend Jeimer Candelario. Oh no, not Nationals legend. Tigers legend. Tigers.
Yeah.
I guess I should have said Cubs legend because he was part of the 2016 team. So
exactly. Come on now, Cubs fan.
Sorry. Sometimes I forget.
It's fine. I forget too.
Anyway,
move
on. It's arbitration season right now. Most of everybody agreed. There are only 22 players who were not able to agree. Just to list some of the ones I know from the Cubs who did agree. Adbert Alzolay agreed. Justin Steele agreed. Nick Madrigal agreed. The legend himself, Mike Tauchman, is back for another season. He agreed for his arbitration as well. It was Steele, Madrigal, Tauchman. I felt like there's someone else I'm forgetting, but those are the main ones I remember. I'm not sure if there's anybody for the Cardinals that stood out to you that agreed to there for arbitration. If you have any of that.
The only 3 I can think off the top of my head is Andrew Kittredge, new reliever, agreed. Dylan Carlson agreed, and the big one was Ryan Helsley agreed because last year they did not agree. So them agreeing this year was big. But Tommy Edman did not agree. It's only $500K difference. Difference going to be settled. Tweet just came out earlier today that Tommy Edman believes he can be a Gold Glove caliber center fielder this year, which I love to hear. Tommy Edman's my goat, so I'm not really worried. Arbitration season is always interesting to see who agrees and who doesn't agree, but almost always they get settled out. So, I'm very indifferent. That's the best way I can put it.
These will all get settled. It's just what is the money going to be? Who is the panel going to agree with? And the other 2, I actually forgot 2 other names. Mark Leiter Jr. and Julian Merriweather also agreed to arbitration as well. So those 2 guys are back. Those are going to be 2 big bullpen pieces for the Cubs. I'm going to quickly.
I remember when Mark Leiter Jr. sucked. Off topic. I remember when
there was a time.
It was bad for a while. But it doesn't suck anymore, so it's cool, I guess.
Yeah, let's see. It looks like you guys got Dylan Carlson. I don't know if you said that to agree to arbitration.
I did.
That was probably the biggest one you guys had, obviously, outside of Tommy Edman. But
Ryan Helsley.
So but there's some bigger players that have not yet agreed to arbitration. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the Blue Jays are at odds. I think the Vladdy wants somewhere closer to 19-ish million. The Blue Jays are covering around 18 million. Adolis Garcia, he wants somewhere in the range of 8 8.7 to like 9 million, but the Rangers countered with 5.
Yep.
Which was kind of surprising. Tommy Edman, Jazz Chisholm, Luis Arias, and Austin Hayes are again among the 22 guys who did not get arbitration deals. So those will be settled at a later date. So that's I'm closely watching. And some of the other big guys who did agree. Juan Soto broke Shohei Ohtani's arbitration record by I think like $1 million or something. And then
Yes.
Pete Alonso and the Mets avoided arbitration. They got him for $20 million. So, yeah, it will be interesting to watch, especially Guerrero, Adolis, and Tommy Edman and Jazz. The fact that the Marlins were not able to agree to 2 of their guys, and especially one of them, who we'll talk about a little bit later, is a bit concerning.
I have no other words to say besides just not in my head. Just, yeah.
All right. Well, since we talked a little bit about the Cardinals front office and what they're up to, they're making a move.
Ooh.
They have
He's home.
As a former Red Sox, he stays in red. That is Mr. Chaim Bloom. Hopefully Jack is still watching. The former Red Sox chief of baseball operations is joining the Cardinals in an advisory role for this year. I'll throw up the ticker now. Cy, are you happy about Chaim Bloom coming to St. Louis?
For his role that he's in right now, yes. He's in a part-time advisory role. He's helping bounce ideas off John Mozeliak. The 4 pitchers that we brought in with Andrew Kittredge, Ryan Fernandez, a couple other guys from the Red Sox. He bounced off of Chaim, which I like. He's an outside the point of view, outside eyes. He understands development. Yeah, I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. See, I outside of what Jack thinks, I really like the move. It's different eyes. He wants to help our team get better. He understands development from his time with the Rays. And he could possibly take over for John Mozeliak in 2025. And I'm okay with that. So therefore, true. But he's not with the Red Sox anymore, so it's fine. You know, that's what the mess he created there is not his problem anymore. And even then, it wasn't his problem from the get-go. Just saying. But I'm happy with the move. Could possibly take over for Mozeliak. Yeah. No words. Cy is happy. Because it's a part-time advisory role. If he had a bigger role, I'd be a little more questionable. But his role is it's honestly it's kind of minuscule. He just helped bounce his ideas off people. Man, I forget that happened. Yeah, he wasn't fired, and I mean, sorry, Jack. You don't have to deal with him anymore. He's not your problem.
But I will say, and I threw this in the comments, it's not his fault that ownership didn't want to spend for Mookie Betts or Xander Bogaerts. So, just saying, not everything that he did was his fault. He was limited by the Red Sox being cheap. I can relate, for the most part, in some regards. A little bit.
So.
A little bit. There have been times.
Me too, though. From Ross being cheap right now.
John Henry will pay for his crimes.
Hey, John Henry's on my hate list too, so I completely understand.
And what's the saying for the owner of a certain team in the California area? What's our saying, Cy?
Fuck John Fisher.
There it is.
Fuck John Fisher. I'll go on and on about that man.
All
man,
right.
I can't wait to bust out the A's hat. I have an A's hat now. I'm waiting for the right time to bust it out.
You'll have to wear that in Alabama for sure. You and MJ can go twinning.
We already were planning on it. That's a lie, we weren't, but now he knows, and now it's happening.
Okay, a couple more moves before we take our first break. Speaking of the Cardinals, Andrew Kisner, he is replacing Mitch Garver out with the Rangers. He'll be their new backup catcher after Garver. He went to the Mariners. Mariners made a lot of nice little moves, so watch for another three-headed race out in the AL West this year between the Mariners, Astros, and Rangers. Why did I forget their name for a minute? And then lastly, this came through this morning. The Cubs have signed the number 4 international prospect, Fernando Cruz, his 17-year-old shortstop, for $4 million as the international signing window is open. So don't know a ton about him. It should be interesting. Interesting they're bringing in a shortstop, but again, he's only 17. He'll basically play like 5 years in the minors before he would do anything potentially, and he would only be 22, and maybe by then Dansby Swanson is on his way out, and hopefully Nico Horner's still there, so maybe he'll be the Cubs shortstop of the future, because Ed Howard certainly ain't doing crap, and who knows what they're going to do with Matt Shaw. So interesting times. But with all that said, we'll go ahead and take our first break with our lovely Mr. and Mrs. and all the people home insurance.
Erie Insurance says here's to the grown-ups who move, mortgage, mow, and still bust a move. But does your home insurance still fit? Erie helps you protect the home you've grown into, all at fair prices that are often less than the other guys. So how do you find the right coverage? Magic. Nope. Local independent agents who get to know you like this.
Your local Erie agent is Building Block Insurance Group. Get a quote today at 704-464-4544.
Erie Insurance.
All right. Let's go ahead and get into MLB rumor time. Should be good. Let's go ahead and start off with, since we mentioned him briefly earlier, is Luis Arias on the move? Came through a report yesterday or a couple of days ago, for what I can recall. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull it up right now.
So you saw this one. I didn't know about this earlier.
Yeah. It looks like John Heyman said that the Marlins are willing to entertain offers on Luis Arias. This was 3 days ago. Shout out to our guy Braden for throwing it in the group chat.
Thank you, Braden.
This makes no sense, considering what the Marlins gave up to get him in the first place. You're going to get rid of him after a year when he nearly hit 400 and was hitting 400 throughout the year. Like, yes, he's not going to provide much pop in the bat, and he's not the greatest defensive second baseman, but he is a consistent contact guy, gets on base, and he's a perfect top of the order hitter. And he's a lefty. Could never have too many left at bats. So the Marlins should never let go of their previous GM. She was killing the game for them, helped them reach the playoffs, and now she's gone because the Marlins are stupid. And who knows? This could be yet the fourth fire sale since the year 2000 that the Marlins have undergone. So I feel bad for any Marlins fans out there who have to deal with this, because it's not fair, because this team isn't given a chance. We saw this in the mid-2000s when they had Jose Fernandez, JT Realmuto, MVP Giancarlo Stanton, Marcel Ozuna,
Christian Yelich.
That team was incredible. D. Gordon was on that team when he was good. So yeah, you feel like this team is just finally getting those building blocks going. And if they trade Arias, this is going to cause major issues for them moving forward.
They literally have manager of the year, Skip Schumacher, at the helm. They don't need to sell off pieces of this team. Keep what they have. Keep building. Trade off some of your surplus and young pitching talent for some much-needed bats. yes, I know it'd be hard. It's hard to compete in the NL East when you have the Braves and the Phillies as the 1A, 1B. But they're right behind them. They're better than the Nationals. They're better than the Mets. They can compete. They can compete for a wild card spot, and if they go hot and the Phillies go cold, or even the Braves go cold, if they're hot at the right time, but the other teams aren't, they can compete for that division. Selling off Leafs Rise would be stupid. That's point blank period. That'd be stupid. I hope not.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing right now for them. So hopefully they do the smart thing, keep them, build that team up, and try and challenge the Phillies and the Braves for the division. I think that's what they should do. And now another team potentially being very, very stupid is the San Diego Padres. They're known for that at this point. They had to trade Juan Soto after giving up a king's ransom for him. They continually choke in the playoffs, except for maybe 1 year when they finally beat the Dodgers. But now
That won't happen.
they potentially are thinking about trading Gold Glover Ha-Sung Kim. According to Dennis Lin of The Athletic, he says internally, San Diego has been discussing the idea of trading Kim for weeks. This is something they have thought about. I don't know why they would do this. Like, I just don't get it. Like,
I have to find it, but
I think it's because his contract is coming up soon, and them getting long-term assets could be good for them. They just still need outfielders. They need some other things. So maybe, but I just feel like you're going to try and rely on Xander Bogaerts to play shortstop all year. You got better as the year went along, but you'd rather have a Gold Glover there.
yeah, it's questioning, but this credits to MLB Pipeline, but so the Padres, it's the international signing day, like all that stuff, and the Padres brought in the number one guy in the class, who is a Dominican shortstop by the name of Leo DeVries. So they're bringing in a young shortstop, suppose the best guy in the class this year. Maybe that plays into why they know that they have talent coming up, so they feel that Ha-Sung Kim is expendable. But even then, he's really not expendable. I don't like it.
Yeah, no,
I don't know where I don't know where he would go either, which is also the problem.
I'm trying to think of a team that needs a shortstop.
Shortstop / second baseman, because he's at second right now.
Yeah. Man. Seattle. Pittsburgh comes to mind. I know they got O'Neal Cruz at shortstop.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Throw him at second base.
Wait a minute. Don't do that, actually. Don't do that. That would haunt my nightmares, because Ha-Sung Kim is actually kind of good.
And the Pirates have prospects. They
sure do.
They could even, if they wanted to, send off Brian Reynolds in a deal for Ha-Sung Kim. Him plus prospects. The Padres need outfielders.
Yeah, but why would the Pirates trade Brian Reynolds?
I don't know. He wasn't very good last year, and you're getting...
Okay, he has been good, though.
That's true. It's just an idea. It's just, again, it's going to be the cost. So
your idea is bad. Your idea is bad. I don't like your idea.
Who knows?
That's okay. Move on. It's just a rumor. It's nothing official. It's just a rumor. Move on.
Yeah.
Next.
Speaking of potentially former San Diego Padres, Mr. Blake Snell. What the heck is going on with him? Recently, let's see. According to, at least here on MLB Trade Rumors, the Red Sox, Phillies, Giants, and Angels have all been connected to Snell in recent weeks. And the Yankees have made an offer. And according to Bob Nightingale, Blake Snell's seeking at least $240 million. The Yankees' offer was $100 million short of that.
They know they have to pay Juan Soto.
Yep. So, and apparently now as well, Toronto is circling as well. They are been reportedly monitoring his market to potentially try and snag him up. Personally, I like to see him go to maybe like the Red Sox. They need a Chris Sale replacement. They need another left-hander that rotation. I think that'd be a great spot for him. Again, I just don't think the Red Sox are going to pony up $240 million for Snell. So, and I think that feels like, no offense to Blake Snell, I know he's coming off a Cy Young season. That feels like a massive overpayment of $240 million. Maybe if he's getting like 200 or 185, but 240 is just ridiculous.
Yeah. So I can see him. Jack's on to something. Jack's on to something. Let him be the GM. He'd be so much better. Anyways, me personally, I'm down to 2 teams that I can see him going to.
Mhm.
I see him going to the Angels because I think it'd just be kind of funny if they lose on Ohtani, but pull the "I still want to be competitive" card, sign Blake Snell. And then Blake Snell comes out with some BS press conference saying, "Oh, I believe in the winning environment that's here. I believe in Ron Washington. I believe we have the tools and the pieces to be competitive in the AL West." Yeah,
I was excited to
whatever.
play with Mike
I was
Trout behind me.
excited to play with Mike Trout. I love what Logan O'Hoppe is going to bring with me. Yeah,
I've been a lifelong Angels fan.
And then the more realistic one, Philadelphia. He's a Scott Boras climate. The team's good. The team in Philadelphia is good. The team in Philadelphia, we know will actually compete. The team in Philadelphia wants to win that World Series. And having a 1, 2, 3 of Blake Snell, Aaron Nola, Zach Wheeler, with Ranger Suarez as the 4 and Taijuan Walker as the 5, and Christopher Sanchez as the swingman. Yeah, that team is taking down the Braves.
I mean, they already have without it, but that team's winning the NL East if they add on Blake Snell.
Yeah.
It's just they'd probably have to start moving around some money. So Nicholas Castellanos or Kyle Schwarber could be trade candidates because they have that would be what? Because they have Bryce Harper on over $100 million for a contract. Kyle Schwarber, Castellanos, Nola. I think Zach Wheeler is going to want an extension, and he's also probably going to be over $100 million. So if they're going to want to bring in another guy who's $100 million, I think the most likely trade piece would be Nicholas Castellanos.
Yeah.
If they could get a cheap, solid defensive outfielder who can hit like 250.
They already have Josh Rojas in center field, who is their defensive first guy.
They got Brandon Marsh and left.
Brandon Marsh in left. And then Castellanos and right, because Bryce Harper's the full-time first baseman now.
Yep. Because they're not going to bring back Reese Hoskins.
Nope.
Probably. And I think it's better for Harper's career if he plays first base. So, yeah, I think if they could ship off Castellanos for, again, a solid outfielder, and if they want to bring in Blake Snell, that's the big thing. So, yeah.
Or the Blue Jays come out of nowhere and sign him, but
yeah, and then have Kevin Gossman and Blake Snell at the top, along with Jose Barrios.
That's not happening. Jose Barrios is good.
Yes.
I love Jose Barrios.
So
next,
second to last, we have the Angels. They are looking at Enrique Quique Hernandez, good utility guy. Only seems to be good with the Red Sox for some reason, or the Dodgers, not the Red Sox. Only seems good with the Dodgers. So maybe he'll like to keep that LA home cooking, but maybe get a deal from the Angels. So again, this would be the Angels signing a mid-player and hyping him up more because of past reputation and performance, but probably getting burned, even though it'd probably be a short-term contract. So nothing much to say.
One year, $5 million. Can play everywhere in the infield. Angels could use a utility guy. Actually, yeah, I can see it.
Yep. So we'll
But
keep an eye out for that. If
the
if
LA,
and
the
when he
LA,
does
the LA,
sign.
the LA mids. So they're gonna sign a mid player. So shocker. Okay.
Yep. And then it feels weekly at this point. Is Cody Bellinger coming back to the Cubs? The most recent report from Bruce Levine of 670 The Score is that more likely than not, Cody Bellinger's destination will be the Cubs. It seems every other report I have seen is like Cubs are number one right now, but the Blue Jays and Giants are still lurking in the background. So, and everyone and their brother at Cubs convention was campaigning for him to be back. Dansby Swanson said something. Even PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong said, "Hey, I just want to win. If that means bringing back Cody Bellinger, I'm here for it." And that's awesome to hear, considering obviously he would be the full-time center fielder if Cody Bellinger didn't come back. So shout out to PCA for saying that. Yeah, that was the main theme from Cubs convention, is that it was bring back Cody Bellinger, Jed, bring back Cody Bellinger, Tom. So let's just see how much longer Scott Boras wants to wait this out.
Well, maybe Scott Boras needs some W energy in his life in order to convince Cody to go to Chicago, because we all know it's in the writing. But for those who don't know, because this isn't in the writing, W was formulated to give you focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Our formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and non-tropics, including the patented neural factor. W contains no calories, no sugars, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. It is the go-to energy drink for us here at Third Down Thursday and all around the world. And personally, because old Scott Boras likes to be a little old head and likes to be stingy, maybe if he had some W energy in his life, in his system, to get that energy back, then he would go to the Cubs and be like, here's the blank check. Just give us however much money you want so Cody can come home. But, of course, because Scott Boras is a little stingy on money, we got him a deal. If he uses our code Third Down Thursdays for 10% off, get himself a little discount, put some more money in his pocket, and overall, bring Cody home, which is disgusting to say, but Chicago is home. It's true. We all know it's home.
Yeah. Plus, he'll get to play with one of his former minor league buddies who gets to play with Michael Busch again. So,
yeah. Great. Thank you for reminding me about that. Appreciate that one.
Oh my God. Well, let's cleanse the palate a little bit for you, and let's go ahead and start. It's been a few weeks. Let's get back to it.
We're back.
It's tier list time. This time we have catchers. Cy has it up on his end as well, so that way,
yes, I do. I do.
He I can look at the people and help me figure out who these people are.
I can properly see the people today, guys. Don't worry.
So,
even though yeah. All right.
So let's go ahead. Start it off. Mr. Adley Rutschman.
Elite.
No question. S tier.
S tier. Elite tier. My goat tier. Best catcher in the league tier. Heard it here first.
Yeah, it's crazy how much he's already done in his 1.5 years in baseball. So, shout out to him. Good stuff. Moving on. Now, from New York Mets, we have Francisco Alvarez. I'm going to say B tier.
Yes, B tier is very safe. Still young, still improving his catching abilities. He's average, maybe slightly above average behind the plate, but the bat will play. Lower average than people would like. However, 20, 25 home runs. The kid's good. He's only going to get better. B tier is, I think, perfect.
Yep. I would agree. I remember watching the Cubs and Mets play at Citi Field. I wasn't there in person, but I remember watching that series, and he kind of popped off during that series from what I remember. So I think he's going to be really good for the Mets. Next, we got Austin Nola.
L.
Hell tier. He's still probably a decent defensive catcher at this point. But
His arm is inexistent.
exactly. So
he's not good.
Moving on. I believe that's Kyle Higashioka.
Nope. This is Austin Wells.
Austin. I'm surprised they let him have facial hair.
No, he's got the stash, and I would put him in C.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Small sample size last year, but the sample size was good. He's going to be the everyday guy in 2024. Solid bat, gap to gap guy. Power is still getting there, but he knows how to handle the pitching staff, the defense as well. Need a bigger sample size before putting him higher. C is perfect.
All right. Then looks like next we have Francisco Mejia, now currently of the Los Angeles Angels. I'm gonna put him in hell tier. He got a minor league contract from the Angels.
Not great.
It's not a good look. He had a lot of potential coming in, but is just not really able to live up to it yet. So hell tier it is. Moving on, we got before the Michael Busch trade, I would have said brother of future Chicago Cub Josh Naylor. This is Bo Naylor.
I'm feeling Bo Naylor in B.
I think that's fair.
He's
again,
young. You continue. You got this. Take it.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of a similar situation with Alvarez. Not a big sample size yet, but what we have seen, he looked really, really good, especially behind at the plate. So we'll see what he's able to do moving forward. And I just love that him and Josh get to play together. I think there's a third Naylor brother on the way, if I remember correctly.
I believe so.
So it should be fun. I'm excited for them, and I think it's a great fit for him in Cleveland. So, all right.
Agreed.
We got Luis Campusano for the San Diego Padres. I'll let you take this one. I have an idea, but I'll let you take this.
I'm feeling C based off sample size. It hasn't been great, but the tools are there. He's been a highly talented prospect for a while. And I think he's also in that situation of 2024 will be his first really full season of being the guy behind the plate.
Yeah, I would agree. Moving on, we have the trader himself, Victor Caratini. I don't think he's with the Brewers anymore, but he's still a trader regardless in my book. I agree. I think high D tier.
Yeah, he's average now. He's not.
Yeah, he's still a decent hitter, but I don't think
he's the backup now in Houston, I believe.
Yes, he is. That's right.
I'm so smart. I love when I know things. I was double checking anyways. Yep, he's with the Astros. I'm right. Okay. Yeah, looking at his numbers, 201 at bats, 259 batting average, 25 RBIs, 7 home runs. For a backup, solid numbers.
Yep. Speaking of Astros catchers, we have current Minnesota Twin Christian Vasquez here, and I think C tier probably.
Ooh, that's generous.
Okay, I think I'd put him above Caratini, but
yes, I'm putting him in the D tier. He's fallen off a cliff. He was not that good last year. He's not even a full-time starter and with Minnesota anymore. Like it's
Ryan
rough.
Jeffers.
Yup, he's so good. For y'all who don't know about Ryan Jeffers, just look up his Baseball Savant page. He is so good.
Yeah. All right. You're gonna have to help me with this one. I have no idea who is that.
Connor Wong.
Is Connor Wong. Okay.
That is Connor Wong, and Connor Wong can go in the D tier as well. He's not good. The numbers haven't been good. Yet he still starts because Reese McGuire is Reese McGuire, and I don't want to talk about him. Weirdo. Yeah, Connor Wong ain't great. I know Jack agrees. Connor Wong is not great. D tier. Keep him there.
Yep. I was just wanting to make sure because he was the only Red Sox I saw on here, so I figure it was Connor Wong.
Yes.
Okay.
I know that.
We'll do these Well, all right. Next, we got Danny Jansen for the Toronto Blue Jays. I'm going to put him C tier. I don't think he's had the longest time in the league, if I remember correctly.
Oh, Danny Jansen's good. Keep him a C for now. Let me look up his numbers because he might go to B tier. However,
I'll put him
the thing
high
is,
C tier. I think just
Okay.
because he has a bigger sample size than
You have to
Wells
put-
and
yeah.
Campusano.
yes, you have to put Alejandro Kirk right next to him though, because they're the same catcher. When I see everybody that platoons them, they put them together.
Okay.
But I'm double checking his numbers because I might move him up. Danny Jansen.
I just want to make
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, no, keep him C tier. Last
Okay.
year in 268 at bats, 17 home runs, 53 RBIs, 228 batting average, 474 slug, OPS of 115. Really good defensive catcher. What's the batting average is a little. The batting average and the slugging to me is a little. The OPS is a little iffy. So yeah, keep him and Alejandro Kirk in the same spot. I like that.
Okay. Next, this is actually Travis d'Arnaud of the Atlanta Braves. I'm going to put him D tier ahead of Connor Wong. Behind
Whoa.
Is that too low?
Whoa, that's way too low.
I didn't think it was that good anymore.
No. See, I'm putting him in B. Put him in B. And
Oh,
let me
wow.
pull his number.
I didn't realize he was still that good. I just know he's old.
It's not. Yes, he's primarily he DHs a bit. Actually, dropping the C. Actually, I'm looking at his numbers.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And dropping
He hit
the C.
225, 11 home runs. Yeah.
Yeah, put him in C.
Right. I'll put him ahead of Jansen, but right next to Kirk.
Yeah, because he's not D tier. If he does another year like this, yes, D tier. But he's still very serviceable, in my opinion.
And then we got the All-Star Game MVP, Elias Diaz, the Colorado Rockies. I'm going to throw him high C tier. Maybe low B?
Low C tier.
Low C tier.
He fell off a cliff the second half. He was not valuable at all. He's only getting older.
Okay, I'll put him ahead of Wells and Campusano just because, again, sample size, but I think that's a fair spot for him. And then I believe this is which one of the Rangers catchers is these?
That's Mitch Garver.
Now the Seattle Mariners. I'm putting him low B tier.
Yep. Based purely off his bat.
Yep.
Don't look at his defense. Purely off the bat, B tier.
All right. And then who is this other Twins guy?
Gary Sanchez, and he is D tier.
That's Gary Sanchez? I thought he's with the Padres.
Well, it shows him as a Twin, but yes, he is with the Padres. And he's actually technically a free agent right now. D tier.
All right.
He revived his career to an extent. However, he's still not great behind the plates, and he still strikes out a bit.
Yeah, you expect that from a guy like him, though. So,
Yeah,
again, but he's still not good, but yeah, it makes sense.
D tier is like that backup tier.
Yeah. Anyway, now we got Mr.
We don't even got to talk.
Grandal.
Put him very back. No, the worst catcher in the league. He can't run anymore. He can't hit anymore. He can't defend. He can't throw. He can't do anything. And that's why he's a free agent. That's why no one's going to sign him. And he's going to retire because he's an old man. Burning hatred for Yasmani Grandal. He's not good anymore.
Fair enough. All right.
Terrorizing with the Brewers.
Yep. He terrorized a lot of people at the Brewers and the Dodgers. Moving on. We have that is Jonah Heim and who is the defense? Austin Hedges.
The first one's Austin Hedges.
Yeah.
The one with the beard, and that is F tier. He can defend, and that's it. And even then, he can't hit. And because of his ability of hitting wet newspaper, F tier, L tier.
Okay. Yeah, I put him at the top just because he is still very good defensively.
Yes,
but I will agree with you.
The wet newspaper is bad.
And I'll put Jonah Heim in A.
A. Yep.
I think here's still a difference between him and Adley, but it's not as big as most people would think. I think Jonah Heim's he's a very, very good catcher.
Agreed.
All right, and then this is Henry Davis.
This is Henry Davis, who didn't catch it all last year. So purely based on the fact that he didn't catch all for the Pirates last year, because it was Andy Rodriguez doing the catching last year, have to put him in D. I have not seen him catch it all in the majors. I don't know how it can be. The bat's lackluster, to say the least. But Andy Rodriguez tore his ACL over the winter in the Dominican Winter League. So Henry Davis will probably take over as a full-time catcher. Opportunity for a lot of growth. But for now, knowing that I haven't seen anything, D tier.
All right. And then I'm going to get this one out of the way now. Max Stassi, L tier.
Yes.
Just get that out of the way now. Don't want to end this on him. Sorry, Stassi. There's a reason you're on the White Sox now.
Real.
Anyway,
this is Jake Rogers. Jake Rogers can go in the C tier. He's very average. He's actually not as bad behind the plate as you would think. As for a catcher who's 6'6", 6'7", he's a big boy. And he can hit. He's actually got a decent bat. Got to watch him live. He's solid. However, can't put him any higher.
Yeah.
This is his first real, this last year was kind of his quote unquote breakout, because what's his face? Eric Haas sucks so bad, so Jake Rogers took over.
Yep. All right. Now we got the actual Twins starting catcher.
Ryan Jeffers can happily go in the B tier, and you can put him upper B tier. Who's in upper B tier?
Bo Naylor.
Bo Naylor, Jeffers. I'd put Jeffers in front of Naylor.
Yeah, there we go.
I already explained. Jeffers really good. Actually, now I'm going to pull up his numbers. Now I want to know. I know the numbers are good, but let me. Ryan Jeffers. Thank you. Yep, I stand by what I said. So, in 286 at-bats, 14 home runs, 43 RBIs, 276 batting average, 369 on base percentage, slugging of 490, OPS of 858 with an OPS plus of 134. I stand by what I said. Ryan Jeffers can go B. Worst case scenario, depending on how that A tier looks, he could go back into A tier. But I want to keep him where he's at right now. Okay. And he's good defensively too.
Oh, that was going to be my next question, but yeah, that's good to know.
He's good.
All right, I believe that is Keibert Ruiz of the Washington Nationals.
That you would be correct. And Keibert, however you want to say it, C tier. He's getting better, but he still haven't had that breakout year that people are looking for.
Yeah. For those who still play MLB The Show, at least for me on MLB Show the 21, Keibert is a god if you're trying to rebuild the Nationals. So hopefully he'll break out like he does in MLB The Show. So anyway, Astros catcher
Yainer Diaz.
Yainer Diaz. I'll pretend like I've heard that name before.
It's okay. He actually had a really good rookie year. He can go back end B tier. He's part of those. He's a part of those young future catchers that are going to be really good, like a Bo Naylor, for example, who's also in the B tier. Power bats, solid behind the plate. He's the reason why they let go of Martin Maldonado, didn't bring him back because he's actually good defensively. Even then, they still brought in Caratini as another bat to platoon with him to an extent. The idea is really good. The pitching staff down in Houston really likes him. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
And then, this was the young catcher for the A's. I can't remember his name.
Shea Langoliers.
Shea Langoliers. Okay.
Okay. I actually have to stat check him before I put him in a spot because.
Based on what I remember, I'm going to put him right behind Alejandro Kirk.
Ooh,
Because again, it's going to be another limited sample size.
And not really. I'll read off the numbers and then you can tell me what you're thinking. Okay. So, in 448 at bats, 22 home runs, 63 RBIs, 205 batting average, 268 on base percentage, slugging at 413, OPS is 681 with an OPS plus of 92.
I'm gonna slide him down in C tier. The home runs, the power looks great.
I would put him very into C tier. Even then,
But
very into C tier
yeah,
feels generous.
that batting average and on base percentage is rough, and we're not even sure how good of a defensive catcher he is.
It's
So
mediocre. I have to pull up the numbers, but I don't want to. I know it's like average.
I think that's fair.
I do.
All right.
Me too.
Other Astros catcher.
That's Martin Maldonado, and Martin Maldonado can go to the L tier.
Yep, I'll put him ahead of Mejia. Again,
Agreed.
I think he's still okay defensively, but again,
He's a
there's a reason
defensive
he's on the
first catcher who hits a wet noodle.
Yeah, hit 195 last year, I think.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
All right.
Okay.
And then the man who was traded for left-handed IKF, Mr. Gabriel Moreno.
Gabby Moreno can go right behind Jonah Heim in that A tier.
Yes, sir.
Gabby Moreno is him. No other way to put it. Gabby Moreno is him. He's great. He's going to continue to be great. No words. I don't even need to explain.
He's one of the best defensive catchers in baseball.
Yes,
Bar none.
and he can hit too. He can hit too. Okay.
All right, Omar Narvaez. I'm gonna put him at the top of D tier.
Yes, the sample size. The sample size last year was good. I looked it up before we did the list. 254 and about 200 at bats, 7 home runs, 40-some RBIs. He backed up Francisco Alvarez last year, and they were honestly a solid tandem for the most part of the year.
Yeah.
So
he probably would work better as a DH rather than a catcher, just because he's a bigger boy. He's a left-handed, good, decent power bat. But yeah, I just don't think as a catcher, he's not going to be. He's not someone you're going to throw in the 8th or 9th inning for a defensive replacement. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the young potential stud, Mr. Logan O'Hoppe of the Los Angeles Angels.
He's in the B tier for me. It's a smaller sample size, but it's a little bigger than Austin Wells and I forget who else we put in the C tier.
Campusano and Langoliers.
He has a bigger sample size than them and has had success. Got derailed last year due to injury. I believe he tore his ACL, MCL. He tore a ligament that put him out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But he's good. He was traded 1-for-1 for Brandon Marsh, and that's a very win-win trade looking at it. They got rid of Stassi, so O'Hoppe can fully have the number 1 catcher spot to be the starter. He's good. I really like him.
Yep. Agreed. Next, staying in the state of California, we got Mr. I believe that is Patrick Bailey.
That is Patrick Bailey, and Patrick Bailey, I want to put in the B tier as well.
Yeah. The bat still needs some work, but I'm going to say here, do I want to say it? No, he's the second best defensive catcher in baseball. I think Adley is probably ahead of him in that regard.
Yeah.
But Patrick Bailey's so good defensively.
And even, I'm looking at his numbers right now, for last season being his rookie year, and 326 at-bats, 7 home runs, 48 RBIs, 233 batting average, 285 on-base percentage, slugging at 359, OPS 644, on-base OPS plus 77. Yes, not the most pretty numbers. It's lower, but it's his rookie year. And when you're that good with the glove, and a sample size of a kid who's, how old is he?
He's got to be in his mid-20s, right?
He's 24.
Yeah.
For his first full season, and he originally wasn't even the guy. Originally, it was Joey Bart who was supposed to be the guy, and then Patrick Bailey was outperforming him in the minors. Came up this season, boom! Just Patrick Bailey is good. Patrick Bailey is good. And for this one, for some of these younger guys, we're basing it off of what we think they'll do. Yes, you can only base so much off the sample size, but you got to base some with young guys off potential. Yeah, he's gonna be good.
If he can hit 15 to 20 homers and get that average up to 250 and be an average OPS plus of He'll move up into A tier really quickly.
I agree.
All right. And I believe, is that Cal? One of these Seattle catchers is Cal Raleigh. I know that.
The first one's Cal Raleigh.
Okay.
And I feel safe to put Cal Raleigh in the B tier. Big number, hits bombs, and is decent behind the plates. That's all I need to know.
Yep. And then who's the other Seattle catcher? Is that
I think that's Jose Pinto. I could be wrong though.
no way that's Jose Pinto.
I'm looking up his facial recognitions. I think it's Jose Pinto. Let me look. Jose Pinto.
The other Seattle catcher?
That's Tom Murphy.
I was gonna say. All right.
Tom Murphy is a backup for the Giants now. He can go either in D or L. It doesn't really matter to me.
I'll put him ahead of Connor Wong, but yeah. Anyway, okay.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, I can't find him on Baseball Reference. I don't care who he is. Just don't want to rate him. He's not important to me.
All right, JT Real Muto. I'm gonna put it
A. I mean, not A. I'd put him still in S. Yeah, last year's his first down year. I'm still putting him in S.
Okay.
But put him behind Adley because I think Adley is the number one guy now, which is insane to say.
Yep. Could not agree more. Okay, now I think this is Jose Pinto for the Rays. Right?
Hold on, my thing's loading. It's taking forever. But yes, I think that's Jose Pinto.
Okay.
Yes, that's definitely Jose Pinto. I was looking at the wrong guy at first. My bad. Yes, that's Jose Pinto.
C tier?
I'm thinking C tier. He's average. I don't know much about him, but if he's with the Rays and they're willing to let go of all these other guys and have him be the starter, he's probably going to be decent. Therefore, middle to end the C tier does not really matter where I throw him.
Okay. Then obviously this is Salvador Perez. I'm thinking end of B tier.
Yeah, he's old. He's getting old. The bat's still there, but the defense isn't. And if he has another down year, he's going to drop down to C.
Agreed.
There's no other way to put it.
And I'm thinking Sean Murphy, top of A.
I'm thinking Sean Murphy back at S. He was insanely good last season.
Okay. I knew he was very good last year. I just wasn't sure if that was in a high A or low S, but I think
low S.
My initial thought was S for Sean Murphy.
Low S because those three catchers are the only three catchers who are in the S tier currently.
Yes. All right, let's see. I believe this is Jacob No, that's the MP Jacob Stallings for the Marlins.
That's Jacob Stallings. Yep, that's Jacob Stallings, and he can go now.
Yep.
That's easy. That's easy.
No, wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go. Why did Jacob Stallings and Austin Nola look so similar? It's kind of freaking me out.
It's a little scary. Don't blame you.
All right. Oh, I should know this because he pitched in a game against the Cubs. Why can I not remember the Reds catcher?
Do you want help, or do you think you got it?
I need some help. I can't think of it right now.
It's Tyler Stevenson.
Tyler Stevenson.
And he's back into C. He had a rough year last year, but the potential's still there.
That's right. Yeah, because I thought he looked like a gym teacher or like a geometry teacher or something.
I can see it. Okay.
Okay.
We're on the Yankee now, right?
Yeah, I think that's Higashioka.
That's Trevino.
Oh my god. So Higashioka's not even on this list? That's crap.
Nope.
All right, Trevino probably
average or C tier.
Okay.
I'll double check numbers, but he's more or less a backup, but he was an all-star last year in 2022, if I do remember correctly. But I already forgot his name.
Trevino?
Yes, I knew that. I blinked. I'm a little tired, and it's starting to show. Jose Trevino. Let's see what he did last year. I'm pretty sure he's injured a little bit. Yeah, you can't really take last year. Last year, in 157 at bats, for Trevino. Oh my goodness. Hello. Let's not do that. Last year, in 157 at bats, 4 home runs, 15 RBIs, 210 batting average, OPS of 56. Ooh. If we base off last year, I would drop him down to D. But he had a really good 2022 where he was an all-star and got a Gold Glove in 2022.
We'll keep it at low end of C just to based off past performance.
I would put him very end of C based off what he did
in 2022
because he was an all-star and a Gold Glove in 2022. But the last person in C, if he reciprocates what he did for a little bit in 2023, he's easily going down to D.
Yep.
Woo, okay.
We got Will Smith, I think.
Oh, wait. I forgot about Will Smith. Will Smith has to be in S tier too, and he would go in front of. I'm looking at the order. I'm thinking Will Smith 2.
So ahead of Rico and Murphy?
Yes.
Okay.
Will Smith is a god. There's a reason why he was hitting cleanup last year. For the stacked Dodgers that were last year's team. He constantly hits 3 to 5 in that lineup because the bat is that good and he's good defensively. You can double check the numbers. But
I'm doing it right now.
I feel very good about Will Smith in S tier. But I also kind of forgot Will Smith existed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. 19 home runs, 261 average, 76 RBIs, 359 on base, 438 slugging, 114 OPS plus, 4.1 WAR. Yeah, I think that's S tier worthy. Although I feel like I don't know, what did Sean Murphy do last year? I feel like Sean Murphy had a better season last year.
You can double check.
They're about the same. Okay, yeah.
They're about the same.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
I only keep JT over Sean Murphy because of longer success from JT. This is Sean Murphy's first year in Atlanta, and his first real year that he was really successful.
Yes.
But he's good enough to have an S tier, not an A tier.
All right. So now we got the Contreras brothers. We'll start with Willem Contreras. I would say A tier.
Yep.
For Willem. Doubles machine for the Brewers last year. Really just popped off for them. I think that was a win-win trade for the Braves.
Yep.
A's. Well, win-win lose because the Braves or the Twins. A's always lose, but it's a win-win for the Brewers and the Braves for that.
And you can put Wilson Contreras right behind William because William, if we base off last year, was better.
All right, hold on. How did Wilson do last year? I know obviously he had early struggles with the.
He did exactly what he was supposed to do, and arguably had one of his better, if not best, seasons of all time. He is an A count.
Yeah. He basically did the same thing he did his final season with the Cubs, except he hit for a higher average, got on base more, had a higher OPS.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But William is better than Wilson, and I'm man enough to admit that.
Yeah, that's a weird sentence for me too.
I agree, but I have to base the numbers don't lie.
Yep. All right. Yan Gomes, I'm putting top of C. Had a really, really good season last year for the Cubs. I just think he's probably due for a little bit of regression, especially in the clutch. He was one of the Cubs' best clutch hitters last year. I just don't think you can expect out of a 37 or 36-year-old catcher at this point. But shout out Yan Gomes. Shout out to him. He was a lot of fun to watch last year. And then the last Astros catcher.
Okay, I'm looking up the Astros catchers right now because I think that one's actually Yander Diaz. The other one wasn't. So now I'm double checking myself.
Uh-oh.
I know. Oh my god. Why is my computer being stupid?
That might be Caesar Salazar. That
I don't know
the one
who
we
that
put
is.
in.
Yeah, and then he can.
No, that's not him. Yeah, so the last one that is Yiner Diaz.
Yes,
So
and
let's
then
throw him
he
there.
can go where he's supposed to be in the B tier.
So who is that for the?
I don't know. I'm looking at their roster right now because I'm as confused as you are because I've never seen. Because I did the double take and then I was like, wait a minute, that catcher is actually who I was thinking it was. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't tell me because it just says the catchers right now are Yanner Diaz, who is the last guy, and then Victor Parentini, who we already ranked. That other catcher does not exist on the 40-man roster.
Let's see. I'm trying to look this up right now.
I'm looking it up too.
I don't know who this
It's
is.
not important. It's not important. He's gonna just get thrown in.
No,
the
wait.
L tier
It's that's not Robbie Grossman or anything. So
it's not. It's not important.
okay, but yeah, there's our catchers tier list. I don't think there really needs to be much movement on it, honestly.
It's not even Cesar Salazar.
I don't know who that is.
He's too baby faced. I don't know who it is. Who is this child that's on this ranking? Because I don't know who you are, and I'm not happy with you now. Whatever. I think that's a pretty good. I think this is great. Actually, I love the top 8 because the top 8 is definitely the best 8 catchers in the league right now. You can argue order in the S tier and the A tier. I definitely agree with that.
Mhm.
And then there's a lot of room. There's a lot of those guys in the B tier who are young and with a good season can rise. Same with the guys in the C tier. So
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to go ahead and save this so we can
Yes.
pull that off the screen. That was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up with our favorite man, Mr. Card.
Great Castle Card Guy.
Alrighty. That was a fun show. I'm glad we finally got to do the tier
We're
list
live.
again. It's been a few weeks. We'll be back next week with second baseman. That should provide some fun stuff.
Oh, that's gonna be controversy. I can already tell. Because
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some bold takes about some certain players. Cough, cough. Nolan Gorman, the A tier. Cough, cough.
Oh boy. Don't give it away yet. Let's save it for
Well,
next week.
The one spoiler I'm gonna give. But on that note, we will see you guys next week. We'll be live next week. We should be live next week because the week after we won't be live.
Or we could be. We could figure something out. We'll see. We'll see.
How?
We'll see.
Okay. We'll talk about that because it's possible. We definitely could, but it would be a very interesting show if we're live. But anyways, on that note, thank you all for tuning in. Long episode, but we're live. We have a lot to talk about. A lot's happened, and hopefully we have another big week of off-season news. And well, see y'all next week.
Peace.